You ride the bike, you swim.
I became passionate about running. I've become quite spiritual.
Character like Bruce, sort of hanging in the shadows. It's one of those things you wonder, who is this guy? Where's he come from? You know, he's got to have some pretty amazing story, but he always just seems to be on his own and really keeps to himself. And to have some of those, or someone like that who is in your view every single day, but you never know anything about the guy.
Through involvement in the YMCA, I developed a passion for cycling, and then I developed an urge to travel overseas with a bike. And I set off to cycle around Europe, 8,000 Ks. Well, one of the greatest adventures of my life.
In 6 months, he went, I think, to every single country. The guy rode over the French Alps through 5 or 6 passes on a bike that had 3 speeds. The guy's a machine.
One of my other great adventures was cycling from Perth to Sydney in 1977. I was initially invited to join a bike party across the Nullarbor with a Land Rover backup. I accepted that, but I extended the trip to take in the whole continent. I look back on it as a greater adventure than cycling around Europe.
And so when did you start running in the marathons?
My first marathon was the very first Sydney Marathon. I was goaded by some colleagues to enter a marathon, the first Sydney Marathon. I initially laughed at them because I'd never run anything more than testing than the city to serve.
52. You ran your first marathon when you were 52.
Yeah.
And how many have you done since then?
Oh, well, I did 30.
30 marathons since you turned 52. He tells me how he gets to work. The guy's over 50 years old. He runs 20 Ks each way, 40 Ks a day. Who does that? So you're down here every day, running, swimming, riding your bike, but I've never seen you catch a wave. Do you surf?
No.
Listen, mate, I think if you started marathons at 50, we can start surfing at 80, and I want to be the first guy that takes Aquaman out for a surf and gets him up and riding.
Oh, good luck to you.
Well, listen, you got your suit on, mate.
It might be your greatest challenge.
I taught a lovely lady before, Joan, and she actually didn't get up. She was a bit younger than Bruce, so I didn't know. I mean, he was a lot fitter, so it really came down to how flexible he was going to be and whether or not he'd be able to sort of get from lying to his feet, so I didn't know. I pushed him onto a couple of waves. I actually rode a few at the start because I was just being ultra careful. I didn't want to wear him out because I thought, come on, mate, you can do this. And I pushed him onto one and the board just sort of slipped out of my hands. And he's just going, he disappeared in the foam. And I was just going, go, Bruce, just stand up. I was thinking, please. And he got to his knees and he stood up. And I thought, he's got his feet on, that's it, I'm done. And he didn't just get his feet on, he just kept going and going and going. And he rode it up the sand and stepped off and walked off. And I went, yes.
If I decide to just stop running and swimming and other activity, it might be a little bit like, I'm getting tired of life, time to pack it in. And I don't want to do that yet.